believe we peaked in the 90s. Come on, come on, come on, prove me wrong. Tuck your friendship bracelet back in your shell suit sleeve. Come on back in time with me.
Fiddle again, and hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to Project Zomboid. We're up a little early. And potter about until we're ready to start adventuring. We're about a third of our way through our 100-day mission. Done well so far. Made it through most of the buildings in the main riverside area. Just got a few more things to go around and see. Plenty of places that we haven't got all of the non-perishable food from. We want to get some more of these shelves. A small chance of breaking them. Managed to break 2. Now we've just got the first half of the the shelves twice, which is not much use. Don't really want to take these little ones. Not much storage value for them. Yeah, we want to get everything that's useful from all of the locations, including furniture if it's useful. Yeah, we'll get all this non-perishable food. Yeah, you can get these sacks of foods, but you have to be pretty fast to get them before they go out of date. I think being in a sack will keep it a little bit longer if it was just out. It's obviously nowhere near as good as a fridge. That's better. That's the entirety of the milk and more done, rather than just the immediate stuff. A bit more successful in getting some shelves here. Yeah, we are still breaking things occasionally. Yeah, these big kitchens are good for disassembling lots of metal things. Giving us metal containers for our first aid and fitness room. Yeah, the corner ones are more valuable, being rarer. Those are the ones we want to try and steal. The straight ones are a little bit more common. If we need them, we'll be able to find them again. These industrial ovens, you can disassemble the hoods for electrical XP and the ovens for metalworking. Yeah, plenty of XP to be got. Yeah, if we'd got here faster we could have got some more food. I honestly think we've got enough. Managed to secure quite a lot of food. Last time we found that some of it was going stale. I'll try and use that up before it goes rotten. Yeah, we've got to prioritise the food in the order in which it's going to go bad. And when things are starting to go stale, we can mix them up again into a new dish. Zhuzh it up a little bit. Make it a bit more edible again. I want to take this lamp, but we can't take it. Apparently it's not stealable. Yeah, we'll get some stuff for the base. Make it feel like a real lived-in place. Get some accessories, some posters and things. Yeah, you can disassemble all the wall clocks for a little bit of electrical XP. These filing cabinets only ever have sort of stationery in them. Never hiding any good loot. Yeah, we've got to dump out all this stationery stuff. Get to disassembling. Keep going with our metalworking for as long as our propane will last. That's the thing with metalworking. Got to keep finding propane tanks to keep filling up our torches. We'd like to get metalworking all the way up to level 10. Can make the strongest metal structures. Sort out our metal walls for our base. Yeah, a lot of disassembly. Hopefully we've got enough propane to get us all the way. There's still a few places that we haven't been in. Checked all the gardens for barbecues and things. There's still some garages that we haven't checked. Tool sheds, storage areas that might have some propane. Yeah, these big industrial kitchens. It's the place to be for metalwork. As I say, we get a little bit of electrical XP as well. Disassembling the electronic components, like the extractor hoods. We'll just work our way through until we run out of propane. Need to go top up again. Plenty of fridge freezers and things here. But we really don't need the fridge part. It would be better with just freezers and the fridges that we've got to keep our food going. If we had half of it in fridges, it would definitely go out before we got around to eating it all. So yeah, freezing is our friend. The best freezers by themselves are at the gas stations. The ice freezers. So if anything, that's really what we want more of. As long as we're not getting more food in by fishing, trapping, or foraging, or farming. Yeah, as long as we're not adding too much supplies into the chain, should be alright for space. Yeah, it depends how much food you're going to be going through, how much you need in reserve. Really, we could wait until we run out of food before we start fishing or farming or anything. Farming is going to take a little bit of time, but leveled up electrical. All that grinding is paying off. We'll soon be able to make battery connectors. Add batteries to all our lights and everything. Save them using up our precious gas from our generator. But yeah, we don't need to keep stocking up on food with things. Just enough to maintain a level of a decent supply of food. Yeah, we're getting bored from being inside too long. Stuck inside doing all this disassembly. Getting a bit hungry as well. Another corner piece we'll try and nab. That's better. I want to finish off this wall. A little refill of the propane torch. change some of our small pieces of metal into larger metal sheets. Finish that room off. It's now lovely, completely encased in metal. Got a little window next to the door so we can have a peek through, make sure there's no baddies on the other side of it before we go through the door. Top up our generator, give it a little fix, make sure it's in tip-top condition. Yeah, just have to check periodically. Make sure that the generator is still full. Got more stale food that we're going to try and eat. We're already bored, so hopefully it's not going to make us more bored. Yeah, it can make you bored, make you feel a little sad. Smoke a quick ciggy. Hopefully that's going to undo all the negative effects. Ciggy for pudding. I got rid of the unhappiness, but not the boredom. We have a read for a little bit. We're now finally able to make the battery connectors. Now that our electrical level is sufficient. We can add batteries into the lights. And then when we do turn them on, it won't be using up our generator's power. Gonna get some metal shelving in our bar. Another sink that we can get connected up for more water. We've probably got enough rain collectors, but no, nothing's ever enough. We'll keep going. Yeah, add these accessories all around the place. We can hack at this growth where the plants are starting to grow at the outside of the building. But I feel it's a little bit of a waste of machete condition for the sake of cosmetics. Wouldn't be doing that all the time necessarily. Yeah, the place is starting to come together. Got a nice wall of storage now. Nice and symmetrical. Yeah, we'll just keep going, keep working on this fantastic base we're making. Our mouse traps are doing really well. Keep them topped up with chocolate. It's getting us plenty of rodent meat. Gonna steal some lockers from the school. More storage for us. Yeah, we're just mixing up the different types of storage that we've got. It'll make the base a bit better. Better than just all the same large metal shelves, you know. Sort of decoration. Get all those different types of furniture. Yeah, there's plenty of different lockers and containers. Get these set up for our area that we're going to have our armory next to the bar. See how much of the room we want to dedicate to that. As we make more layers for our box in a box in a box, need more windows. And then adding a window makes it vulnerable. The zombies could come straight through, so then you've got to make another wall. Just got to keep making layers until the zombies can't even think of a way to get into you when you're in the base. Yeah, we'll get some curtains at the same time as we pick up the windows, if we can pick them up without breaking them, because we will need curtains. Get the windows that we need. Can always come back and get more as we need them. He's well overloaded. Yeah, windows are pretty heavy. But we get it all back to the base. Start popping these windows in where we need them. Make sure we open the ones that are next to the generator, so we're going to let all the fumes get out. Hang up some of our lovely curtains. Make it feel a bit more homely. So we pop out some more of our containers. Still try to decide how big I want this room. Yeah, we can pop out all of our guns and things. Hopefully got a bit more room now. We can get more of the firearms distributed into the armory. Yeah, lots of moving things around as we expand the storage capabilities in the base. I'd like to have a room for each skill with all the stuff for that skill in the room. Still make it interesting and an organic layout. More stale food that we're checking on. Has to be used up first. Yeah, I'm thinking we need to unfreeze the bologna. It's not something that needs cooked per se. It just needs defrosted really. Bologna is not sorting itself out. Can cook the other things. Just have to wait for the bologna to defrost. Yeah, we'll have to wait for the food to go cold because we're all full up. But when it goes cold, we're more likely to get the negative moodles. Just got to keep warming it back up to minimize the chance of becoming unhappy. Yeah, when we eat cold, it's more likely to make him sad. Yeah, he's getting away with it. Yeah, you can see it'll make us bored and unhappy, but it goes down when we warm it up. Makes it a little bit more bearable. He's a little sad. Fix that with a ciggy or a magazine. It's hot in the car. Got to turn on the aircon. You can wind down a window. That helps. Then the zombies can just reach in and grab you. So it's not advisable. Just over next to the little bar. Raid it for stuff for our big bar. Yeah, this is right next to the base, but it's not part of the base per se. So yeah, we'll make our own bar in the base. If there was a huge community of people here, sure, we could set up a barracks or something in here. Keep everyone going. Give them all a place to eat and sleep and things. But yeah, right now it's just poor old Ramos by himself. Doesn't have a crew of people to organise and look after. But yeah, we'll go through the bar, take all the stuff. Taking the taps as well, but I haven't realised at this point the taps have to stay the same orientation. Can't rotate the taps around to face the other way. So unless they're already orientated the same way as you want them in your bar, there's no point in taking them. So we've got all the booze. Now we're coming back for the shelves. Yeah, we'll take all this stuff back to our bar. Lots of trips when it's these heavy objects. Lots of trips back out to the trailer. Can also take the bar counters themselves. if we can arrange them in a way that makes sense. They're a bit smaller, at least we can tuck them away into our rucksack. Yeah, we can't pick it up when it's still got stuff in it, even if it's just one little item. Yeah, we're accidentally getting stuff. Cups and dish towels and things. Can use a couple of the cups to decorate the bar. As I say, it's just about do we have enough counters? Do we need more? We kind of want them to match. But to be strategic about using the corner piece. Yeah, I think this should be big enough for our bar. Just continue along until, as I say, we want to make a divider in between the bar and the armory. Don't just want an open plan barmory. That's no use. Yeah, we've still got all this booze on the floor. Got to organise it. One container for each thing. Get everything put away into its right place. Yeah, it's easier when it's in range and you can drag things from one place to another. Easier than going back and forth. I think we have to step out into the pile of bottles a bit closer if we want to detect them all. But yeah, we'll get there. Get everything organised into its containers. And pop down some more. This is a good place for the mannequins that are in the clothes shops. Can have one serving behind the bar and two at the bar, you know. Yeah, it's good to make it seem like your party areas are being used for partying. I'm sure once the madness properly kicks in and he's been on his own too long, come into the bar just like The Shining and speak to the mannequin that's serving the drinks. Certainly a lot tidier now. Got rid of most of this stuff off the floor. Find a place for empty bottles. We can also fill them up with water later on down the line. We can put our bar stools in place, but we do need to leave room for some patrons to be stood here. Because you can't have the mannequin and the bar stool in the same place at the same time. Yeah, we'll keep working on that. Got a crop needing harvested. It's seed bearing. Want to leave it till they're seed bearing so we can get more seeds and keep it going indefinitely. We do get more XP for harvesting it before that stage. But yeah, the seeds are more important. I'm sure we'll get to the end of the farming tree eventually. Much like cooking, it's just something we're doing passively. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Check our traps. See if we've got any rabbit meat to go with our rodent meat. Again, I think we've got enough food to keep us going for the whole playthrough probably. But yeah, we do want that XP from trapping, so we'll keep at it. Just not on an industrial scale like we're desperate for the nourishment. Yeah, butchering the animals gives us a little bit of cooking XP as well. Yeah, we'll get there, especially once we start cooking up soups and stews and things with the stale ingredients. Cook it once and then cook it again in a stew. Double up your XP. Looks like our bar shelves are slightly different. try to ignore that. Yeah, there are a few bar places where you can get the bar furniture. It doesn't necessarily match, as we find. Not the most important thing in the world. Definitely going to have enough room here for all the alcohol that we find in the game. It looks like a nice natural meeting point between the two rooms. Just make a wall to separate out our bar and our armory. It's been a long day. We've only got enough time for 2 days this episode. A bit more involved. Spending a bit more time disassembling things on our bigger projects for our bar. Wake up at 6 on the dot. That's what we want. Ideally, we'd be up at 6 and then to bed at 10. He's lurking around just so he can hear a zombie. No, I think we're fairly safe. As I say, when we start layering up this base, it'll be harder and harder for the zombies to path their way in to get us, even if they knew we were in here. Yeah, we can't turn around the bar taps. Got one that's the right way, but another one that's not much use. We've got enough stools, but let's say we want to leave a little space for people to stand, so we might need to move them afterwards. Once we've got a couple of patrons in mannequin form. Got a nice amount of junk on our kitchen table. But we'll grab our empty bowl to make up a salad. It's a good way to add in some stale ingredients. We've got plenty of sacks of things that we threw straight in the freezer, but yeah, it's starting to go stale. Didn't see an option to open up the sack, maybe not when it's frozen. Yeah, we'll open these sacks and get the stuff out of them. Hopefully it's just going to be the stale condition and not any worse. Yeah, you can get salads or fruit salads. Obviously the fruit salad gives us access to more of the stale ingredients. So we'll try and get them used up. Yeah, you can use the bowl, or you can use a pot of water, a cooking pot. Put your stale ingredients in, bring them back to be in a decent edible condition. Presumably you're just cutting off the bad bits, just throwing what's left in. Yeah, you need to have the chocolate or whatever in your main inventory if you want to use it as bait. You won't have the option if you leave it in a bag. Yeah, thankfully we found enough chocolate on our travels to keep us going for a while. Eating that stale bologna in slices. Get our way through it. Our garden has become a little bit overgrown. Bushes and tufts of grass that need removed. So we'll get that all tidied up. We've got seed-bearing crops. So we'll get them taken out. And we can replant the seeds and put the crops in our freezer. Another level of farming. We've probably got too many crops on the grow. So we really don't need it. Want to be in line with the windows that we're going to put here. To let the sun come through. So we're just going to move where we've got our plots. Just a little bit. Just move everything down by a tile. So that it's closer to the edge. Gonna put a metal wall all around this at some point. Put windows in. So the sun can still get through. Obviously it can still shine down from above. But yeah, we'll make sure that all our crops are still in the sun. Doing pretty well with our skills. Just gotta keep reading the books to maximise the skill gain. But yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. Another couple of levels of carpentry. It should get us up to our first skill finished. Our weight's going up a little bit, but not so bad that we're worried about being overweight. Even if we do hit overweight, we can just take it easy for a couple of days. Going a little bit of a calorie deficit. Break our way into another industrial kitchen. Try and get everything disassembled. Take any precious little metal cupboards that we want for our bar. Get more metalworking XP, more electronics XP. We're not going to find anything food-wise at this point. It's all going to be rotten. We're in a different stage of the game now. Not concerned at all with preserving food and trying to gather it all up. Get it all frozen for the long term. We can take non-perishable food if it's left around. Yeah, all the perishable stuff is beyond it now. As I say, we'll keep doing disassembly for as long as we've got propane. Keep getting the metal sheets that we're going to need for the walls of our base. Yeah, I don't know if it would be a good idea to try and prioritise the industrial kitchens in the beginning rather than the kitchens in people's homes. There'll be some places you're more likely to get more food out of it. Like the fast food places, your spiffos and whatever. There's too many other useful things when you're raiding homes. You're looking for media and weapons and clothing, useful tools, materials. Yeah, it depends on whether you just wanted to prioritise food or you're trying to do everything at once. Even on 6-hour days, you know, the game is still pulling you in many different directions. You've got to make some tough decisions about what you want to prioritise. I think we had a good, balanced approach. Able to get enough food to keep us going, I'm pretty sure. As I say, we do have options. We're starting to run low. Just lean into the trapping or the fishing. We're getting a healthy supply of vegetables and stuff from our garden. So I don't think starvation is going to be something we need to worry about. The amount of rain collectors with sinks hooked up as well. I don't think we're going to die of thirst. Yeah, we've set Ramos up for the best chance of survival he's got. Just need to keep working through the places, eliminating the zombies, taking anything useful with us. Yeah, we're not letting up on getting garbage bags either for our rain collectors. The more the merrier when it comes to rain collectors. Yeah, we do need some rain to fill them up. That'll come soon enough. Yeah, there's plenty of sinks around in these businesses and in people's homes that still have a bit of water in them. But we could still top up our water bottle from any of these sinks while we're waiting for the skies to open. The loot really doesn't want to get in the bag. Sometimes when you're dragging the loot over the bag, it really doesn't want to go in. Yeah, we'll get another counter for our bar. Got a decent stash of stuff. Say we'll keep disassembling, see if we can get the levels up. Propane willing. Had a Zed hanging about. Yeah, there's an upstairs with some offices. Hiding up there the whole time. These fridges are good for disassembly. Your white goods tend to give you decent metal sheets. Your washing machines and fridges and stuff. As I say, they're not that useful to us. It'd be better with just a plain freezer than a fridge freezer. It's kind of wasted space. There's no point in powering a fridge if it's not full of stuff. There's no point in having all your stuff in the fridge because it's going to go bad faster. Still got a bunch of non-perishable food that we'll take from the supermarket here. And we could take these shelves as well. Do have another side of the base, like the front part, that we need to fill up. Obscure the windows with these shelves. Yeah, we can always come back for things. Depends if you want to make as few trips as possible and carry absolutely everything out. Your legs breaking under the weight. Whether you want to make 4 or 5 trips back to the same place, just getting what you need every time. Depends on your playstyle, it really is up to you. The only thing that's certain is not getting bitten by the zombies. Other than that, play how you want. It's quite an immersive game, you get right into it. Terrifying when you're scared of the zombies in the beginning. Until you become a combat master. You feel pretty confident in taking them out. Yeah, even when you're a combat master, little mistakes, not being properly aimed at the zombie, that will get you. Thankfully, after his 2 lacerations, he's not encountered any more zombie contact, thankfully. There's plenty of stuff you can get other than food in the supermarket. Little electronic items and housewares. Can disassemble some electronics. Rip any clothes that we find. Toys we don't really need. You can get some plushes. Different animals. Definitely will collect one of each of the named animals. Other than that, yeah, toys are pretty useless. Could be more friends for our bar. After we get the mannequins in, then we get the plush. of an evening, he can go into the bar and sit and speak to all his imaginary friends. Tell himself he's not going crazy. Being all on his lonesome in the apocalypse. So yeah, we fill up at the supermarket. Get a ciggy on our way back. Make some more walls. So we've got the edge of our bar now. Just have to make a wall behind there to separate the armory. We level up our metalworking, combining the smaller sheets into bigger metal sheets. Got enough metal sheets that we can keep making these metal walls. Yeah, it's more likely we're going to run out of propane before we run out of sources of metal sheets. Want to get as much of the base covered. Need at least one layer of metal. Keep the zombies out. As I say, hopefully we'll create enough layers between where we are in the base and the zombies outside that they wouldn't have a good path to come and get us. And hopefully they'll just stay where they are. Yeah, we don't really want zombies anywhere near the base, but yeah, we can't choose where they migrate to. There's always a chance. We'll get a knock on the door from the undead. Yeah, hopefully it'll be a knock on a distant wall because they don't know where we actually are. They can't think of a good way in. Just got to bamboozle them with layers. So we get another lovely salad. Try to clean up the base again at the cost of machete condition. Probably not worth it. More containers for our generator room. We can put our scraps of electronics in. More collectors for our sinks that we've popped in. More opportunities for fresh water when the rain starts coming down. We'll see to our generator. It's topped up maybe once every 24 hours or so. If we had less electronic equipment attached within its range, it would go down slower. Doesn't help that we've got a street light and a small light that's sort of in the bar now. They're both being powered that we don't really have a choice to turn off. But yeah, we'll minimise our electronics use if we can. Make battery connectors. So we finish our trapping skill book just before 6. Move on to the next thing. I've got that last carpentry book to read. Just depends on what we think needs catching up. Could do farming 3. Cooking, I think we're just going to get there ourselves. We're not going to be too concerned about reading the cooking books. We'll see if we've got nothing else to do. But yeah, so far we'll get on with the farming. See if we can get that red before the next lot of crops are ready. Make sure that we're dealing with our stale food. It's not the best having all this food and you're only eating the stuff that's going bad. As I say, we've got to prioritise. Stale stuff first. Sliced up our bologna, we're eating that little bit by little bit. Just to take the edge off while we're waiting for our other stuff to cook. Shouldn't smoke before having the unhappiness from the food. So we need the ciggy to fix it. Yeah, we'll optimistically munch. making him bored. He's tired and bored. But he's not sad yet, so that's alright. Crossword can get rid of the boredom. Erase the food cooking. Reading the magazine. Solving a problem before we get on the next one. Good timing. Yeah, the magazines disappear once you've used them. They're like consumables. But there's plenty of them. Do have a decent supply so far. Need a comic book to get rid of the boredom and the sadness at once. Yeah, I don't want to give him too many ciggies. Not when he's not anxious and doesn't necessarily need one. Well, he does now. Yeah, comic book solves a lot. Same with the hotties. Also will solve a couple of negative moodles at once. So yeah, we're navigating our stale food. Get back on our reading. Have a ciggy break about 9 o'clock. Can take some stuff out to our traps. Yeah, they don't like the stale food. You think that would be nice and easy. Just put your stale food as bait to get some fresh food in exchange for it. But the rabbits are quite discerning. They're not interested in any of our stale produce. Leave plenty of trees around here, so it still counts as woodland, and the rabbits will still venture here. Yeah, we can take a few of the logs from nearby. I'm chopping down some trees for our base. Not too many. Does help to have coverage roundabout for trapping animals and in general. Don't want to be showing off the base to everyone. Keep most of its natural cover if we can. So we're separating out our 2 rooms for our bar and our armory. We'll get working on that the next episode. We read our book until 10 o'clock, until bedtime. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, you get a boost after only a small portion of the book. And the boost gets bigger the more of the book you complete. But we'll come back next time and pick up where we left off from. Until then, do take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one.